Hey guys.
Like a man. It's been, well, I mean, it's always been a minute since I made a YouTube video. I don't do it every Wednesday anymore because I just don't have
the energy to do that all the time.
Today's video isn't really going to be an advice video necessarily, or a vlog or anything like that. Today I want to talk about migraines. Something that I deal with. I've dealt with it since I was like 11 years old is when I started getting them. I think it might be interesting to see if anybody deals with them the same way I do, or if it's really different for you, or if it's worse than me, but I don't know. My story basically with migraines is I've been getting them since I was 11, I think is when I got my first one. When I first started getting them, I didn't really know that that's what it was because like I didn't even know what a migraine was. I was
11.
I literally just thought it was a really bad headache, you know? So I started getting them by my like 4th or 5th one. It wasn't just a headache anymore. You know, there were symptoms that you obviously don't get when you get a headache. I couldn't see sometimes. I would lose feeling in different areas of my body, like arms, legs, face, crazy stuff like that. It really sucked because when I first started getting them, probably from the age of about 11 until I would say like 15, 16, they were so bad that whenever I would get one, I would have to like stop what I was doing, leave wherever I was, sit down. I'd have to be in the dark, like the whole 9 yards. Literally, I couldn't even move. I started getting MRIs on my head. I had all kinds of tests while I had to be asleep. My mom literally took a photo of me with like 25 wires in my head. And then I had to fall asleep like that so they could like track my brain waves. It was just a lot. My neurologist at one point thought I had a freaking brain tumor.
I don't, so that's, you know, positive.
Nowadays when I get one, I can usually just sit through it, or sometimes I'll even just ignore it and keep doing what I'm doing even though I literally can't see. I've been getting them for about 9 years now, so you know, you get used to it. If you go through anything that long, you tend to figure out ways to deal with it that it doesn't stop you from doing everyday things. My type of migraine is called a familial humoral migraine. I get a series of symptoms. They always happen in the same order. The whole thing usually lasts a few hours. And you know, now I'm on medication for it, which helps a lot. I get them very rarely now, and the symptoms aren't as bad, which is really nice because my symptoms they came across as symptoms of a seizure, basically. Mine always starts with vision. That's the first thing that happens, is it's a visual migraine. You know when you look at the sun for an accidental second, or you look at, you know, like a reflection of something and it's bright and it kind of causes your cones to have an after image? So it's like that, but it never goes away. And it starts off as this, like, usually I'll see it as like a little spot. I'm trying to describe it, but I just look like
An Italian making food.
like a little sparkle in my vision. So it starts off with the sparkle and eventually it'll start to get bigger, and that's probably the worst part for me. Not only does it make me nauseous just because it's a weird feeling, it's not comfortable, you know what I mean? It stops you from being able to see out of your peripherals. Yeah, peripherals. I've had it to the point where I couldn't see anything and I've had to go to the hospital. One time they even tested me for glaucoma because they were so worried that there was, you know, I went blind basically. I couldn't see. After the sparkle kind of starts to go off to the side is when the numbness comes on. It's a lot of the times one of my arms will go numb, like completely numb. I'm talking if I tried to like pick something up, it's like it's gone. It'll usually be one or both arms. I've had it where it's my legs, so I can't walk. A lot of times it would also be my face. My cheeks would go numb, my lips, sometimes like areas of my forehead. A lot of times it would also be my tongue. Whenever it was my tongue, I couldn't lie down because I would choke on my tongue. So that's the second stage of my migraines, is the numbness. It can be anywhere from top to bottom of my body, to one ligament, to one limb, whatever, something like that. Then the next part, this part is when they're really bad, or I'm having a really, really serious one that usually ends me up in emergency or at the hospital at least. What would happen is I would be hearing my mom talking to me, or whoever was talking to me, but I couldn't, it was like they were speaking a different language. It was like I all of a sudden didn't understand English. Just sounds were coming into my ears, and it was scary because it's like parts of my brain were just shutting down one after the other, and it's terrifying. Your body's not used to that happening, you know what I mean? Unless you're
having a seizure.
Which is what a lot of people or a lot of doctors thought that I was getting. Luckily, we came to the conclusion that that's not exactly what's happening. Funny thing about my migraines, and maybe some people have this too, is that there will be times where I'll get a migraine but not even get a headache. If I do get a headache, it doesn't come till after everything else. Any of you out there that get migraines, you know that pain is just like, it feels like someone's taking like a giant nail and just putting it through your brain. It's just like excruciating. I'm really lucky because I know there's a ton of people out there that get their migraines for literally days and weeks on end, which is, I just can't even imagine it. I can't even stand mine for a few hours. The other thing I want to talk about with migraines is ways to cope with it. Some of the ways that I've found is drinking water. I drink like 7 of these a day, maybe more. If I drink a shit ton of water, the chances of me getting a headache or the chances of it being as bad as it could be are way less likely than they were before. Another one that I use usually for my migraines is obviously medication. If you're not into medications, B2. It's just a vitamin and it's natural. It really helped me. So B2 is a huge one. Obviously there's tons of other ways to deal with migraines. You know, there's the whole putting frozen peas or vegetables on your neck and putting your feet in hot water. It doesn't do anything for me. Like, my headaches are just too much. They're just too bad for that. But yeah, just basically staying healthy, eating healthy, drinking water. You know, I'm sure a lot of people out there that have gotten migraines for years, you've got your own methods. I know I do. Basically, just for anybody out there that needed to hear that they're not the only one with psychotic migraines, trust me, you're not. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any advice for me on how to deal with migraines, I'm always open to suggestions. Seriously, anything helps. So please make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. I know I don't post very often, but I try not to bore you with posting a video every week because trust me, that
content would be trashed.
So if you enjoyed the video,
Give it a like-a-roo.
ew. And I will see you the next time I have an idea. Peace.